Hello everyone, I am Gitanjali Khamra Raghuvanshi, Assistant Professor from Department of Computer Applications at BSSS College, Bhopal. So, today we will start with the next topic of the subject Foundation of Computers, that is types of computers. We know that we are using various computers from the different generations. So, today we will see the types of computers in the particular series. So, first is analog computers, second digital computers, then we will see the third microcomputers, then mini computers, mainframe computers and supercomputers. So, let us talk about the analog computers. An analog computer is a computer which uses continuously changeable entities like mechanical, electrical, hydraulic, etc. These were first used at the time of 1950s to 1960s. They do not use discrete values, but they use an analog signal. That is why we are calling it as the analog computers. The concept of analog signals are, they are continuous signals with a time varying feature of the signal. Analog computers are in use for some specific purpose, for some specific applications like flight computers in aircraft, in ships or in submarines, and they have so many appliances in our daily life such as refrigerator, speedometer, etc. So, now we will talk about digital computers. So, digital computers are the computers which perform various computational as well as some other general purpose work. The information in such computer is represented by variables taking a limited number of discrete values. These computers work on the digital signals, that is why we are calling them digital computers. So, these signal represents the data as a series of discrete values, but at any given time it can only take on one of a finite number of values. Specifically, digital computers uses the binary number system which has two digits 0 and 1. Now, a binary digit is called as a bit. We all know binary numbers contain only two digits, either 0 and 1 as I told you. So, these two digits are called as bit. Thus, they represented and stored the information in the groups of bit. Main advantages of digital computers is they have a good accuracy and fast speed. So, now the third category is microcomputers. As I told you that we will talk about the types of computer. So, in that list microcomputers are the third in number as they are the smallest among them. So, they are very small in physical size, they are economical in terms of cost and are friendly in use. Personal computers fall under this category. So, these computers can be used for small data processing jobs of bigger companies or serve as complete computer system for small firms. PC can be used and it can be connected with the bigger computers and can be used as an intelligent terminal to a bigger computers. So, now let us talk about the mini computers. Mini computers are very popular among medium sized companies. Mini computers offer facilities for faster processing of voluminous information. Mini computers of course are bigger than microcomputers, but smaller than most of their elders called mainframes. They cost somewhere between rupees 5 lakh to rupees 15 lakh depending upon their configuration. However, these prices are only inductive and are subject to substantial changes over the time. So, you can see some varieties of mini computers as I mentioned here, like VAX 8000 series from Digital Equipment Corporation, in short DEC, and AS 400 series from IBM have been quite popular in computer-aided manufacturing as well as departmental computers. So, now let us move on to the next category, that is mainframe computers. So, mainframe computers are bigger computers capable of handling data processing needs of, say, head offices of the bank, a big multinational company, or maybe a public utility office. Mainframe computer subsystems have larger storage and the speed of processing is also very high. They also offer the advantages of wider choice with regard to upgradation of the system in future. So, they offer features such as parallel processing. The parallel processing involves combining a large number of processors that break down an application into many separate parts in order to enhance the processing speed. So, this is all about the mainframe computers. Now, let us talk about the supercomputers. This is last category of in the types of computers. So, supercomputers, we can say any of a class of extremely powerful computers they are. So, the term is commonly applied to the fastest high performance system available at any given time. Such computers have been used primarily for scientific and engineering work requiring exceedingly high speed computations. The common applications for supercomputers include testing mathematical models for complex physical phenomena or design such as climate and weather, evolution of the cosmos rays, nuclear weapons and evolution of the new chemical compounds, and cryptology. So, as the cost of supercomputing declined in the 1990s, more and more businesses began to use the microcomputers for market research and other business related models. So, now this is all about the types of computer. Now, we will proceed over the next term, that is servers. So, now I will tell you about the servers. A server is a computer that provides data to other computers. It may serve data to system on a local area network that we call LAN, or a wide area network, that is WAN, over the internet. The many types of servers exist, including web servers, mail servers and file servers. So, each type runs softwares specific to the purpose of these servers. For example, a web server may run Apache HTTP server or Microsoft IIS, which both provide access to the websites over the internet. Next, a mail server. A mail server may run a program like Exim or iMail, which provide SMTP services for sending and receiving email. Then next is a file server. So, a file server might use Samba or the operating system's built-in file sharing services to share files over the network. Now, we will talk about the types of softwares. Softwares are basically categorized into two broad categories, that they are application softwares and system softwares. So, firstly we will see the system softwares. So, system softwares include the programs that are dedicated to managing the computer itself, such as operating system, file management utilities and disk operating system, that we call DOS. The operating system manages the computer hardware resources in addition to applications and data. Without a system software installed in our computers, we would have to type the instructions for everything we wanted to computer to do. So, this is a system software. Now, we will see the application softwares. So, my dear friends, application softwares or simply the application are often called productivity programs or the end user programs because they enable the user to complete the task such as creating documents, spreadsheets, database and publications, doing online research, sending emails, designing graphics, running businesses and even playing the games. So, this is all about the types of software. So, now we will talk about our next topic, that is language translator. Before proceeding over to its types, we should know the term translator means. So, this term translator is said to be as a program written in high level language. This high level language program is said to be as a source code. So, to convert this source code into a machine code, we need a translator. So, a language translator is a program which converts this source code into a machine code. This machine code is said to be as a object code. So, basically do not get confused, we have two types of codes here. First is source code which is written in a high level language and another is a machine code, that is object code written in a machine level language. So, the translator is needed to convert this source code high level language into a object code, that is machine language. Fine. So, this is all about the translator. Now, I will tell you the two main important roles of translator. First is it translates the high level program which is a input given to it into an equivalent machine language program. Second is it provides the diagnostic messages wherever the programmer violates specification of a high level language program. So, this is all about the translators. So, this is all about the types of computers. Now, we will see the next connecting topic, that is types of computing devices. Till then, take care. Thank you.